Alright everybody, so today we're looking at a sneaker that had one of the most obscure releases of 2025 so far. I mean, with this being the 40th anniversary of Jordan 1, I'm really surprised Jordan Brand isn't leaning into this release more. And it's a classic color, their, I guess, new flagship style cut, which is the 85 cut, but we're not hearing about it. So today, I'm going to bring you one of, I think, the best Jordans to release so far this year. It's going to be the Jordan 1 Low 85 in the Royal colorway. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from the Sneaker History Podcast, and we are back with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you guys. And, well, thanks for coming back for another review. I know there's a lot of them we do, but I gotta tell you, this one is one of my favorite Jordan 1s of all time. Well, favorite colorways of Jordan 1 of all time in a different cut, maybe a more original cut, who's to say? But we're talking about the Jordan 1 Low 85 Royal. Now, this one just released in, I guess, what, 2 weeks ago? Well, kind of released because it was only places like 8r and In that got them, but nowhere else has got them yet. But apparently they're supposed to be on sneakers in a couple weeks or months. I have no idea. This is the most convoluted, weird release I've seen so far, and that's really, again, weird to me because this is an original Jordan. This is a Jordan 1 Royal, one of the originals to come out, and they're pushing this 85 cut, and we've gotten this weird news around it where the people said it was canceled, it came back. We saw it on the feed of some coaches. It was a UNC, I can't remember, but there's a lot of things going on here, and I don't understand the reason or the thought process behind it. But cool thing is, I was able to grab a pair, but as you can clearly see, not my size. This is actually a pair for my wife. She saw them and liked them. I missed out on the raffle on In and 8r, but it is okay because I will be grabbing a pair of these soon, but I want to at least get her pair since she liked them. And I have to say, in hand, these are absolutely amazing and have some pretty drastic differences. Now, this is the first time I've ever held an 85 in the hand, so this is my first time actually compare from the new, I guess, cut to the 85 cut. And yeah, there's definitely some differences. And these are both adult sizes. I mean, clearly this is just adult size 6. This one's adult size 10. So although there's a size difference, they are gonna both have the adult build, just not like a child build compared to an adult build. So just so that we're all on the same page here. Now, first thing we're gonna get here, of course, and I'm not taking it off because I'll let my wife do that when she's ready to do so, but this, of course, comes with the old Jordan tag on it. It gives the build out of the sneaker, gives the explanation of the air sole unit that's encapsulated, the leather, the full breakdown of the way it's padded. So really cool that they have that on there. Just again, just kind of a throwback to the past. But as we get into the shoe, Jordan 1s are pretty cut and dry. It's not something we have to dive deep into, but I want to dive into the difference. So first thing we're going to notice is that, look at the toe box on this Jordan 1. Sorry, again, tags floating around. You see that leather? That is a very thick, stiff leather, which people are like, oh, that bad quality? No, typically in most cases, if you think of things like boots, that's probably the thing I compare it to the most. The thick leather is going to be stiff. You got to break it in. And it's such a difference. It's crazy to see, like, and again, just a little bit lower quality leather. It's not bad in the shoe, but you can definitely tell it's a different quality, a lower quality. Look at that. Right out the, I mean, I've worn these a few, but right out the box, they're pretty squishy, pretty soft. But this one, look at that. You got to break those bad boys in. And I feel like, although Jordan 1s do last like tanks, I think this even extends the life more by just having that higher quality, thicker leather on the shoe. And as you look, I mean, if you ever question, oh, is it thicker or is it just something they coated it with? Look at the cut lines here. So right on top, oh, drop another shoe here. So right on top, I'm gonna get some B-roll, of course. You guys can see there's a really thick cut of leather they're using, and it's, again, a big difference than what we're seeing on the, I guess, the OG cut versus the 85 cut, which I wish they just go straight to 1. You don't, like, let's just make 1 the standard and keep going forward, because there's so many differences. Like, why not? If you want 85 to be the thing, let's just go purely 85. I mean, the cost is a bit much, I think, for a low. I think this was 180 bucks. For a low. I mean, these were 140. I can't remember. It's a pretty drastic change in cost. I mean, that is a kicker. So I do appreciate the less expensive, but this one quality wise is just absolutely just amazing to me. I know some people, it's kind of a toss up between 85s. People like them, do they not like them? Because some people like their stuff kind of broken in out the box and not want to have to deal with the stiffer leather, which is understandable. But things like this, I like having this really thick leather. I love just, again, the quality behind it. Now as we get to the side panels, of course this sneaker is going to be the royal colorway, one of the original Jordan 1 colors. It's going to have the royal toe box here. It's going to have your perforations up top. You know what? Maybe just because I worn them, but the perforations look a little, I don't know, look a little bit more defined in this one. And this is something I'm just noticing, but if you look at my shadows, I mean, they're all going the same pattern, but they seem a bit more defined. Maybe it's just because of the brightness of the blue, but they seem a little bit more defined than what we're getting on the shadow, the gray here. So, I don't know, maybe that's just something because of that thick cut of leather, we're getting a better look at those perforations, but again, same pattern, nothing big different, no big differences there, I should say. Now, of course, we're gonna have our different laces you'll see here. We're gonna have a black lace, which I always like the black lace better on these. And of course, you do have the second set, which is the royal, which they're still tied up inside. Again, not taking this apart because this is my wife's shoe, so whenever she's ready, she'll put whatever laces she wants there. She'll take the tag off when she's ready. So this is me just kind of showing this pair off because it's not getting a lot of attention outside of just kind of confusion in the releases that people are talking about across the social platforms. Traditional Jordan 1, again, colorway, color blocking here when it comes to the originals. Gonna have black as the majority, the upper black leather, nice smooth leather. It's not gonna have that tumble finish like you kind of see. It's a little bit more tumbled on the shadows here. Again, at OG, this is gonna be a smooth leather finish. You're gonna have, of course, your royal swoosh here going across both the lateral and the medial side. Right on the heel, you're gonna have your Air Jordan branding here. That's gonna be done up in black. And of course, you're gonna have that same royal heel, all done up in that nice smooth leather. You'll still have that nylon tongue here. You'll see that all black. And something I just noticed here as well is that on the 85s, it has a white, almost translucent, where you can see the foam in the back. Whereas the OG cut, my shadows have all black, and they're not as thick actually. This one has a bit more cushioning in the tongue, seems like, than the OG models that we've been getting. Now also, you're gonna get inside the shoe. Let me take the paper out here. You're gonna get kind of serial number inside of it. That's gonna have the shoe sizing, of course, which is a size 6 here, and the rest of the identification numbers within the shoe that are going to be painted on in white. Now, one of the big differences here I noticed is that when you take out this insole, it is a better looking insole. So that dream cell stuff we typically get, this one seems to be like a dual layer. So of course you have kind of like your, I don't know, your almost like a terry cloth feel right up top, Nike Air done in blue. But you see right in between, look at that, we have a layer of foam that's going to be kind of like a softer yellow foam. You're gonna have like a thicker, smoother foam at the bottom. So we've got it seems like a pretty comfortable insole in comparison to what we normally get in a Jordan 1. Now, one of the big differences I saw as I took this apart is that they built this, again, like 85, instead of having that kind of foam last they kind of been going with, this one has a cardboard last. Look at that. You still have the cardboard last from, again, like the original build, which, again, kind of cool. Now, that's probably the reason they put in a more comfortable insole because, again, you're not going to get that extra layer of that tiny little, like, sliver of foam. This is going to go ahead and make it a little bit more stiff, so you're going to definitely have to break these bad boys in. Now, as we get to the midsole, it seems to be a little different here. So I'm looking at them. I'm trying to make sure I see it myself before I show you guys. But, so look at the OG here. We're going to have a straight line. Little bit of a curvature here, but when you get to the 85, definitely a big curve right in the middle. Look at that, very pronounced. Looks to be almost a little thicker than we would get on the new models or new versions of the Jordan 1 Low. And I'm sure this is going to, of course, translate to the Jordan 1 High as well. So a little bit of a different cut of the midsole, and something I know a lot of people are glad to see is not yellowed. It's going to be pure white, like a brand new shoe, so that way it can yellow on its own and you guys can age your own shoes by wearing them. Now you get to the outsole, you're going to have the traditional Jordan 1 outsole done up again in a royal blue. It's going to have the Nike branding here at the bottom, of course. And it seems to be a little bit more, something I heard people talk about, the outsole. This one is kind of hard to see here, so you got the flat of the Jordan 1 shadow here. But look at this one. This one has a bit of a, let me see here. You see they have a bit of a curvature to it. Almost a little bit more round with this shoe, which is different. And this is, yeah, it is very different. I don't know the reason behind that. I don't know if it was more conducive to playing back then, since this is, of course, was a performance basketball shoe back in '85. But interesting. Now I would love to tell you I can put these on feet for you and show you exactly how they fit and feel. I can't, because I cannot fit a size 6 shoe, not even happening. But I will say, I will circle back, maybe do a short or a reel once I get my pair in hand. We'll talk about some on foot, or maybe do like a wear test for 30 days, who knows. But this sneaker is definitely one of my Jordan 1 grails, because I never had a Royal. Every time they came out, I missed on them. So these will be added to the collection very shortly. But I'm glad my wife got a really cool pair to add to her growing collection as well. But again, keep an eye out. I have no real news of these releases. I know that supposedly they're supposed to be going to show up at sneakers, or on sneakers I should say. Keep an eye out for boutiques, because I think they're just kind of randomly dropping them, more overseas than not right now. But just keep an eye out. Scroll through social media, check any boutique you can think of, because this one is really kind of a ghost drop. I just kind of, it just is no one, just like no real information, just kind of pops up, and if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But definitely a cool one to add to the collection, and yeah, I'm excited to add it. So what do you guys think about the Jordan 1 Low 85 Royal? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know down below. Until next time, guys, see ya.